There's nothing quite like watching Karens getting some legal karma in the courtroom, is there? When years of plaguing public life finally catches up to them and they're made to pay for their crimes. Meltdowns, freakouts, and verbal beatdowns, this video has it all. Let's get into it. To kick things off, we have a Karen who can't believe the judgment given against her and flat out tells the judge she's wrong. But when the judge holds her in contempt of court, things get fiery. Wait for it.
Personal life is your business, John. It has nothing to do with
Miss Hardwick.
No.
You will be held in contempt of this court if you become disruptive.
I don't care. I haven't done anything to this court. I haven't done anything to him.
She will be arrested for contempt of court.
It doesn't make any difference.
You will serve 10 days for contempt of court. Go now.
Get off me!
The star of our next clip is Darrell Brooks, a man with the reputation of not hiding his true feelings when court is in session, getting thrown out multiple times. And it's another one of those days for Darrell when he interrupts and stops a witness he called to the stand.
Did you have to have surgery on that leg?
Objection, bleeding.
Overruled.
Sí.
Yes.
Let's see which one.
Just one?
Dos.
Two.
That's not gonna work either.
Mr. Brooks, you are advised to stop with the commentary.
No, I'm gonna say what I want.
You
to say.
called this witness. I'm going to take a break right now and excuse the jury and this witness.
All right.
What you doing is judicial misconduct. Judicial misconduct.
This Karen has the audacity to accuse a high court judge of being racist, and that's why she was given a harsh sentence. But even when the judge tries to give her side or tries to reason with the Karen, all she gets is interruptions and further accusations. I think it's you, Karen, who's the problem here.
You guys will just take his side. I'm an African American woman. I'm a black woman, and you guys are all white. You can say you're not racist as much as you want until you're blue in the face, but your actions say otherwise. Okay. And it's clear that you don't have children yourself because of the decisions that you make.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. So, Mr. Lytle, I want to make sure that I reinstate her contact, and we're following the order that was entered by Judge Marquis.
That's what you said yesterday, and you didn't
listen to me.
Deliver on
Sangalasa.
You're going to be held in contempt, and the next time you
interrupting what
held in
you're trying to
contempt
say to
for
Mr.
speaking.
Lytle.
I'm a pro se
You had your
litigant.
chance to
I'm a
talk.
pro se litigant, and it's my right to speak. As a judge, you have no right to shut up a pro se litigant. And
so here, I understand you've missed time, and I understand you are entitled to compensatory
you don't
time.
understand.
I do. So here's what, listen. So for this week, the compensation is going to be as follows. On Friday, she will receive the child, let's say 10 a.m. And that's going to be at the police department, and that's on MLK, correct, Mr. Lytle?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
Nicholas gets
all right, I'm just going to issue a minute order because you're not listening. I'm just going to issue a minute order because you're not listening. We're going to hang up, and I'm going to go off the record, Mr. Lytle. That's when you should have the client back.
And now I'm held.
And that's the date and the time. Thank you very much. We're hanging up. Goodbye.
Next up, we have a Karen presenting a case without the proper say-so, and when the judge tries to dismiss her, the Karen interrupts, talks back to, and argues with the judge, and is fined $500 for her troubles. Now that's what we call reaping what you sow.
Per for my motion for sanctions against Mr. Nicoletti for this vexatious and frivolous PPO.
I'm sorry, on this what?
I have a motion for sanctions against...
I know that. And the purpose of the sanctions are based on what?
It was a frivolous and vexatious PPO based on nonsense. I am not stalking Mr. Nicoletti.
I haven't signed a PPO. How can you ask to sanction someone when you haven't even been served?
That's the point.
Stevens, do not interrupt me when I'm speaking, ma'am.
I have a constitutional right to be heard.
On what basis? There is no case before me, ma'am, other than the fact that you filed this frivolous motion taking up this court's time for no good reason other than your own personal vendetta against this man for whatever reason you may have, and I really don't care because it does not involve me or my court. However, had I issued a PPO, you would have a basis to be before me. I did not issue a PPO. He did not pursue his right to a hearing on the PPO. You were never served, and here you are taking up my time so that you want me to chastise him and make him pay money? No, ma'am. I am sanctioning you with costs of $500 forthwith to the county clerk's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I knew it was fixed.
I beg your pardon?
I said I knew it was fixed.
Miss Stevens, I highly suggest that you just exit my courtroom and go pay the sanctions before I find you in contempt.
This Karen may be in a tough position, but it's no excuse for being rude to a judge. And sadly, if you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. And her prize is 300 days in jail.
On the assault, I'm going to set a $7,500 cash or surety bond. That bond is conditioned of no contact with Tiffany Castro. No contact means you can't call him, you can't write him, you can't text him, you can't email him, can't leave a message on some social media, you can't go visit him. If you go someplace and either Mr. McRae or Ms. Castro's there, you have to leave. If you're someplace, even though you may have arrived first and one of them shows up, you still have to leave.
So you gonna tell me I can't go home?
I'm telling you, you can't go home. If you live with...
Whoa, I'm talking. I don't need you to say nothing.
If you live with Mr. McRae, you cannot return to that residence.
Oh, but how you just gonna tell me I can't go home, though?
What?
How you gonna tell me I can't go to my house?
I just did.
Well, I bet I do.
Well, then you're in contempt, young lady, and you've got 30 days. So you're not going to... You're not... What?
Whoa.
Get back! Get back!
You just said I got 30
Get
days.
back!
I'm not getting nothing else.
That's another 30 days. That's 60 days.
So what?
90 days.
So?
120 days.
Okay, and?
180 days.
Whoa!
Please, quiet.
Get off me. Get your hands off of me, man.
Come on.
What else you got to say?
Oh, nothing. We'll talk in 6 months when you're ready to come back for your case.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Not as sorry as she's gonna be.
I ain't bad. They got commissary. I got money.
That's 200 days. You got anything else to say, Miss Burks? That's 300 days.
This Karen is given far too much leeway in court when she goes on a rant about a fake poll book number. She constantly interrupts people, doesn't answer questions, and I have no idea how she's not been thrown out.
The poll book is completely off. Completely off.
Off by 30,000?
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000. That poll book, why don't you look at the registered voters on there? How many registered voters are on there? Do you even know the answer to that?
No, I guess I'm trying to get to the bottom of this here.
Zero. There's zero.
So, my question then is if the...
Guess how many, wait, what about the turnout rate? 120%?
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, please.
So the poll book number, okay, there's two things that could happen here. Either the poll book number, if ballots were counted multiple times, there's two options. Option number one is that the poll book numbers are not going to match.
They don't.
The actual. Not by thousands and thousands of votes. That's not what we see right now.
Take a look again. Take a look again.
Option number two is that they essentially were filling in names of people who didn't vote.
Dead people too?
So is that?
Let's
I guess,
let
is that
Representative Johnson ask his question, and then when he's done.
I thought that was his answer. Okay.
Well, I guess that's my question here is why we're not seeing the poll book off by 30,000 votes. That's not the case.
What did you guys do? Take it and do something crazy to it?
I'm just saying the numbers are not off by 30,000 votes. So
I know what I
saying
saw.
That they're filling in.
I know what I saw, and I signed something saying that if I'm wrong, I can go to prison. Okay. Did you?
Okay,
I'm just trying to ask you a legitimate question here.
Yeah, let's let
Some of you may recognize the judge, Frank Caprio, who shot to fame for his kind-hearted judgments. So this clip is all the more infuriating when this male Karen starts to disrespect him because he wasn't happy with the judgment. And when Judge Caprio brings him back to fully understand what was said, the male Karen threatens him. So Judge Caprio quadruples his charge. How's that for karma?
We'll see you again in 10 days. What did he say, Sergeant? Bring it back here. I got lawyers, Your Honor. You just said to me, whatever you want to do, Your Honor, do it. Because I got lawyers. That's what you call double jeopardy. I'm gonna make this phone call and have you indicted for double jeopardy. I was arrested last night for disorderly conduct. That right there ain't my record. It don't have nothing to do with this previous case. Sergeant Sarandian. Sir. Double jeopardy. This young man indicated to me that when he finished with me, I would be sorry. I take that as a threat. I want the appropriate charge leveled against him for threatening the judge. Right. Double jeopardy. Additionally, double jeopardy. Yeah, you want to rearrest me? You can do that. Double jeopardy. No, I'm not no ignorant person.
Today is not the day for this judge to be messed around with, especially not by a loudmouth Karen who's trying to call the shots. But as soon as she does, this judge nips it in the bud and puts her in her place. She's nicknamed the Attitude Adjuster for a reason.
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? I would like to call... Ma'am, stop. I know you want to control this room, but this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my courtroom, and you will answer my questions. Stop. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Yes or no? All right, I'll take that as silence. I understand her attorney is on here. Where is her attorney? You will not act disrespectful in this court. Do you understand, ma'am?